I'm ready.
Go.
Yeah.
Four.
Madam Chair of the 66th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, my fellow honorable ministers, delegates of member and observer states, representatives of international, national, and civil society organizations, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Greetings. As Liberia's Minister of Gender, Children, and Social Protection, I'm glad to be participating during this ministerial roundtable of the 66th session of the Commission on the Status of Women. Women particularly are disproportionately vulnerable to the effects of climate change, which would exacerbate existing gender disparities. Considering the linked drivers of risks within the context of climate change, environmental degradation, and disasters that are rooted in structural gender inequalities, I would encourage member states and observer states to focus more on addressing the following. Women's disproportionate share of unpaid care, domestic and communal work, and the associated time constraints that intensify in climate and environment disaster contexts, making recovery more difficult. Number two, high prevalence of violence against women and girls and lack of access to justice, which worsen in climate and environmental crises and disasters. Number three, women's lack of rights, access, and control of resources, particularly land, forests, waterways, ocean, and marine resources, which weaken their adaptive capacities, increase their insecurities, limit their livelihood opportunities, and limit their decision-making power on the use of such resources. As part of Liberia's national strategy, we aspire to bridge the gap between men and women in the fight against climate change and provide alternative measures in addressing that gap. Build the capacity of Liberian women and provide them with technological solutions such as energy-efficient cooking stoves, fish dryers, recycling machines, etc., to address the impelling effect of climate change. Recognize women as a front runner of climate awareness and commission them as climate ambassadors. Recognize women as decision makers, shareholders, stakeholders, educators, careers, and experts across sectors to contribute to policy formulation and decision making, thereby making sure that women are a full part of this process, contributing to long-term solutions to climate change, environment, and disaster risk reduction on women and girls. And finally, mainstream gender into climate change, risks and disaster prevention policies, action, and approaches that will lead to a more efficient, effective, and equitable solution and distribution of benefits for all, particularly for women, girls, and children. Thank you.